The massive space station floated in the black emptiness between stars. It was called Harmony Point. The Galactic Concord built it long ago as a place for different species to meet and talk. Today it was full of tall, shiny aliens. The Varelians stood like thin silver trees with glowing skin. The Korgath were huge, covered in thick armor plates. The Zalari moved fast on many legs, their eyes clicking like machines. They all waited for the humans. A small Earthship docked quietly. It looked old and plain next to the smooth alien ships. The door opened. Out walked Captain Ji-Ho Kim. He was not tall. His black hair was short, and his uniform was simple gray. Behind him came Sergeant Min-Jun Park, strong and quiet, and Medic Haeun Lee, who carried a heavy medical bag. More humans followed, 20 in total. They looked small and soft compared to the aliens. The Concord ambassador, a tall Varelian named Lyrael, stepped forward. Her voice was calm and musical. "Welcome, humans of Earth. We are happy to meet your kind for the first time." Ji-Ho bowed a little. "Thank you. We come in peace." The aliens watched closely. They had studied human history from signals Earth sent into space. They saw wars, but also art and songs. To them, humans seemed weak, short lives, no sharp claws, no strong shells, no mind powers, just soft skin and strange feelings. The meeting started in a big round room. Lights floated above like stars. Aliens sat in chairs made for their bodies. Humans sat on simple benches. They talked about trade, borders, and rules. Then trouble came. A warning alarm sounded. Red lights flashed. "Raiders!" a Zilari shouted. "Korgath renegades attack a human transport near the outer colony." The room went quiet. Everyone looked at screens. A small human ship carried supplies to a new settlement. 3 big Korgath raider ships attacked it. Laser fire lit up the dark. Lyrael turned to Ji-Ho. "Your people are in danger. Our ships are too far. We cannot help in time." Ji-Ho's face stayed calm. He spoke into his wristcom. "Response team, prepare. We go now." The aliens stared. One Korgath laughed, a deep rumble. "You? With what? Your little ship?" Ji-Ho did not answer. He and his team ran back to their ship. The humans moved fast and sure. The small Earth ship undocked and flew toward the fight. Alien observers watched from Harmony Point. They thought it would be over quick. The raiders were strong. Humans had no chance. But things went different. The human ship did not try to run or hide. It flew straight at the raiders. Min-Jun Park sat at weapons control. His fingers moved fast. He fired small missiles. Not fancy, but many. They hit one raider ship on the side. Sparks flew. The raiders turned. They sent boarding pods toward the human transport. Big armored Korgath warriors jumped out, ready to take everything. Ji-Ho's voice came over the comm. "Boarding defense. Hold the line." On the transport, human workers and guards waited. They were not soldiers, but they had guns. When the Korgath broke in, fighting started in the tight corridors. Haeun Lee ran to the injured. A young worker was hit by laser fire. She stopped the bleeding fast. "Stay with me," she said. Her hands did not shake. Min-Jun led a team to meet the boarders. The Korgath were twice as big. They had blades on their arms. But Min-Jun used cover. He threw a grenade that filled the hall with smoke. Then he and his men attacked from the sides. They shot, stabbed, and pushed. One Korgath fell, then another. The aliens watching from Harmony Point could not believe it. "They fight like animals," a Virelian whispered. "They die like animals too," another said. But the humans did not stop. When ammo ran low, they used knives. When knives broke, they used hands and feet. They yelled to each other in Korean and English, words like "cover me" and "push forward." Ji-Ho stayed on the bridge of his ship. He flew close to the raider ships, too close. He used the ship's engines to ram one raider. The impact shook both ships. Then he sent his last missiles into the engines. The raider exploded in a bright flash. The other raiders tried to run, but human fighters from the colony joined. Small fast ships chased them. Lasers and missiles hit again and again. In the end, all 3 raider ships were silent wrecks. No Korgath survived. The human transport was hurt bad. Many were dead or injured, but it still flew. Back at Harmony Point, the aliens were quiet. Lyrael looked at the screens for a long time. Jiho's ship docked again. He walked back into the meeting room. Blood was on his uniform. Ha-Un walked beside him, tired, but standing tall. Min-Jun came last, limping a little. The room was silent. Lyrael spoke first. You won. Jiho nodded. We protect our people. A Korgath council member growled. Luck, only luck. Your kind is weak. Jiho looked at him. Maybe, but weak things can bite hard when cornered. The aliens talked among themselves. They used their translators. One word came up again and again in their languages. Top warriors. It started as a joke. Humans were so small, yet they fought like the best. Top, because they thought humans believed they were the best. It was meant to mock. But the humans heard it through their own translators. Min-Jun smiled a little. Top warriors, huh? Ha-Un laughed softly. Let them call us that. We'll show them what it means. Jiho did not laugh. He just looked at the aliens. We did not come to fight, but if we must, we will. The meeting continued. Trade talks went on. But something changed. The aliens no longer looked down at the humans. They watched them carefully now. Later, in private, the Concord leaders talked. They are not like us, one said. They fight dirty, another added. But they fight, Lyrael said quietly, and they do not run. Word spread through the galaxy fast. On many worlds, people watched the battle recordings. They saw small humans against big Korgath. They saw humans bleed, but keep going. They saw a captain ram his ship into an enemy. And everywhere, the same words. Top warriors. Humans back on Earth heard it too. At first they laughed. Top warriors? Sounds like a bad joke. But soldiers in barracks started using it. Hey, top warrior, pass the ammo. It became their own name. A name born from insult, but turned into pride. A one-time luck. But deep down, some aliens felt a cold fear. What if these small, stubborn humans were more than they seemed? What if, when real danger came, the galaxy would need those top warriors? For now, the stars stayed quiet, but the name was born. The galaxy had been at peace for many long cycles. Trade ships moved between stars. Planets grew green cities. Species shared knowledge and laughed at old wars. Then, the quiet broke. It started with a single scout ship from the edge of known space. The ship sent one short message before it went dark. Black wave, consuming, no escape. No one understood at first. Then pictures came. Worlds turned black, not burned, eaten. Cities, forests, oceans, all gone. In their place, strange moving shapes. Towers of bone and metal twisted together. Eyes glowed in the dark. The thing called itself the Void Swarm. The swarm did not talk. It did not ask. It took. Whole fleets vanished. Advanced weapons did nothing. The Virelians tried their light beams. The beams passed through the swarm like water through fog. The Korgath sent their strongest ships. The ships were pulled apart piece by piece while still fighting. The Xylari used speed. The swarm was faster. The Galactic Concord called every leader to Harmony Point. The big round room was full again. This time, no one laughed. Faces were pale. Voices shook. We have lost 12 core systems, Lyrael said. Her silver skin looked dull. Our best minds cannot find a weakness. A Korgath general slammed his fist on the table. The sound echoed. "We need more ships, more soldiers, anything." But they had no more. The swarm grew bigger with every world it took. It used the dead ships and bodies to make new ones. Then someone said the word no one wanted to hear. Humans. All eyes turned. A small Xylari stood up. "They are new, weak, but they fought the raiders. They did not run." Lyra looked thoughtful. "We laughed at their top warriors. Maybe we were wrong." No one argued. Fear makes strange friends. A small group of Concord ships went to Earth. They landed in Seoul. The city was bright with lights. Tall buildings touched the clouds. People walked fast on clean streets. It looked normal, peaceful. The alien ambassadors met Prime Minister Se-Yun Choi. She was calm. Short black hair, sharp eyes. She listened as they explained the swarm. She asked few questions. General Tae-Woo Kang sat beside her. He was older, gray at the temples. His uniform was neat. He asked the hard questions. How many worlds lost? How fast does it spread? What have you tried? The aliens answered. The numbers were bad. When they finished, Se-Yun spoke. "We will help, but not your way." The ambassadors blinked. "We fight alone," Tae-Woo said. "Our ships, our people, our plans. You give us information, we give you time." Lyrael hesitated. "You are small. Your fleet is new." Tae-Woo smiled thin. "Small things can hide in cracks. Big things cannot." They agreed. The aliens had no choice. Earth moved fast. Factories that made cars now made guns. Schools taught young people how to fly fighters. Volunteers filled every base. Families said goodbye quietly. The first human force left 2 months later. The third expeditionary fleet. 30 ships. Not big, not shiny, but full of people who knew how to work hard. Colonel Hyun-Roo-yoon commanded them. He was tall for a Korean. Quiet voice, strong hands. He stood on the bridge of the lead ship, Hope's Edge. "We go to learn," he told his crew, "and to kill what we can." With him were Lieutenant Ji Woo-han. She carried a long rifle, best shot in her unit. And Engineer Min-So Baek. Small woman, always carried tools. She could fix anything. They reached the first battle zone, a Concord world called Dalor 4. Half the planet was already black. The swarm covered the sky like a storm. Concord ships fought above. They died fast. Hyunwoo watched from far away. "Do not join yet," he said. "Watch." They watched for 3 days. The big ones control the small ones, like a brain. Cut the brain, the rest stop. Min-So studied pieces of swarm drones that floated in space. They use energy from living things, but they hate cold. Very cold stops them. Hyun-Woo nodded. "Good, we use that." The first fight was small. A swarm scout group attacked a human supply ship. The humans did not run. They turned and fought. Ji-Woo stayed back. She aimed from long range. Her shots hit the control nodes on the big drones. One by one, small drones froze. They floated helpless. Min-So sent repair drones with coolant tanks. The drones sprayed freezing gas. Swarm parts cracked like glass. Hyun-Woo led the close ships. They used old tricks, mines in patterns, fake signals to pull enemies in. When the swarm came close, human ships fired everything, then ran, then came back. The scout group died. No human ship lost. Word went back to Harmony Point. Humans won a fight, but they won. The aliens started to listen. More battles came. Each time humans lost people. Ships broke, but they learned faster than anyone expected. In one battle, a swarm tendril wrapped around a human cruiser. The crew fought inside. They cut power to sections, froze corridors, used flamethrowers made from fuel lines. The tendril pulled back. Ji Woo became known. She sat alone in her sniper nest, hours without moving. Then one shot. A hive commander died. The swarm wave slowed. Min Seo built new weapons, small bombs that sucked heat from the air. They called them Winter Hearts. One bomb could stop 100 drones. Hyun Woo changed plans every fight, never the same twice. The swarm tried to learn. Humans changed faster. Back on Earth, people watched news. They saw their soldiers bleed. They saw them stand again. In bars, people raised glasses. To the top warriors. Soldiers on ships laughed when they heard, "Let the galaxy call us what they want. We just want to go home." But the swarm grew. It ate more worlds. Concord fleets became ghosts. One day, Lirael sent a message to Taewoo. "We need more. Please." Taewoo answered, "We are coming, all of us." Earth sent more ships. Volunteers came from every country. Old people taught young ones. Children made drawings of soldiers in space. The galaxy watched humans move. Not with grace, not with fear, with stubborn steps. The aliens who once mocked now whispered hope. The top warriors are fighting, and they are not losing. The swarm noticed too. It sent bigger forces toward human space. The real war was starting. Humans did not wait. The void swarm moved like a black tide across the stars. It swallowed systems one after another. The Galactic Concord had only a few strong places left. One of them was Epsilon 9, a huge relay station shaped like a wheel. It sent messages and power to half the galaxy. If it fell, the Concord would break apart. The swarm came for it with everything. Thousands of hive ships, billions of drones. The sky around Epsilon 9 turned dark with their bodies. Concord fleets gathered to defend. Virelian light cruisers, Korgath heavy battleships, Xylari fast raiders. They formed a wall of steel and fire. The battle started at dawn station time. Lasers crossed the void. Missiles bloomed like flowers of death. For the first few hours, the Concord held. Ships exploded on both sides. But the swarm did not care about losses. Every dead drone became food for new ones. Then the tide turned. A massive hive nexus, a living ship the size of a moon, pushed forward. Its tentacles reached out and grabbed Concord ships. It pulled them in and ate them whole. One by one, the defenders fell silent. Lirael watched from Harmony Point. Her hands shook. "We are losing," she whispered. A message came through. Human voice, calm. "This is Admiral Ji-ho Kim, 7th Combined Fleet. We are entering the battle zone. Hold if you can. We will take the center." The aliens looked at each other. Ji-ho Kim, the same captain from the first fight, now an admiral. His fleet appeared on the screens. 50 ships, not the biggest, but flying in tight groups, like wolves. The Concord ships were tired. Many were damaged. The swarm pressed harder. The relay station's shields flickered. Ji-ho's voice came again. "All packs, execute pattern Delta. No mercy." Human ships moved strange. They did not form a neat line. Some flew low toward the station. Others went high. A few turned and pretended to run, then looped back fast. The swarm tried to follow. It got confused. Ji Woo-han sat in her sniper pod on a small scout ship. She breathed slow. Her scope found a Nexus commander, a glowing core inside a big drone cluster. She waited. The ship shook from nearby explosions. She did not move. Then she fired. One clean shot. The core burst. The cluster around it froze. Drones dropped like dead insects. "Good hit, Ghost," her pilot said. She loaded another round. Next. Minjun Park was on a boarding frigate called Iron Fang. His team wore heavy armor. They carried short guns, knives, and packs of winter hearts. The frigate flew straight at a hive ship. Too straight. The swarm fired at it. The ship twisted at the last second. It rammed a docking port. "Board!" Minjun shouted. They cut through the hull. Inside was wet and dark. Red lights pulsed like heartbeats. Swarm drones came from every wall. Minjun's team fought in tight halls. They shot. They threw grenades. When guns clicked empty, they used blades. Blood, human, and black swarm ichor mixed on the floor. Minjun reached a control node, a big pulsing brain. He planted charges. "Back out, now!" They ran. The hive ship shook. Explosions ripped through it from inside. The whole thing broke apart. Drones around it lost direction. They floated helpless. On the bridge of Hope's Edge, Jiho watched the screens. "Good work, Sergeant. Keep pushing." The swarm tried to surround the human fleet. Jiho smiled small. "All ships, suicide runs, overload reactors, hit and fade." Some human ships flew straight at big hive vessels. At the last second, they ejected escape pods. The empty ships kept going. Their reactors went critical. Bright flashes. Hive ships cracked open. The aliens could not believe it. They used their own ships as bombs? "They died to win," a Korgoth said quietly. But not all died. Many pilots ejected in time. Small pods floated away. Rescue ships picked them up later. The battle lasted 2 full days. Humans bled. Ships broke. But they did not stop. Every time the swarm pushed, humans pushed back harder. They used tricks no one expected. Fake distress calls to pull enemies away. Mines hidden in wreckage. Loud broadcasts in every language. Shouts, insults, songs, to make the hive mind angry and careless. Slowly, the black wave pulled back. The big nexus retreated. Drones stopped attacking. They drifted away. Epsilon 9 still stood, damaged, burning in places, but alive. The Concorde fleets cheered weak cheers. Many ships were gone, but the station held. Jiho's fleet floated among the ruins. Half his ships were silent. Many crews hurt. Jiho stood on the bridge, his uniform torn, a cut on his cheek. A message came from Lyriel. "You saved us." Jiho answered simple. "We tried." Across the galaxy, people watched the recordings. Alien children saw humans fight in dark halls. Traders in bars talked about the sniper who never missed. Soldiers on distant worlds repeated the stories. The name Top Warriors changed. No one laughed now. They said it with respect, some with fear. On a Korgoth world, an old warrior spoke to his sons. "They are small, soft, but they fight like nothing we know. They bleed, they cry, then they stand again." A Varelian poet wrote, "In the dark, short shadows grew tall." Even the swarm felt it. The hive mind sent probes to watch human ships. It learned their smell, their sound. It feared the chaos they brought. On Earth, people cried for the dead. Mothers held pictures of lost sons and daughters. But factories worked faster. More ships left dry docks. More young people signed up. Jiho met with his officers. Minjun limped in. Jiwoo carried her rifle like a baby. Ha-Un Lee, now leading medical teams, looked tired but strong. "We bought time," Jiho said, "not victory. The swarm will come again, bigger." Minjun nodded. "Then we fight bigger." Jiwoo cleaned her scope. "I still have bullets." The galaxy hoped now. Not a small hope, a real one. The top warriors had turned the battle. They had not won the war, but they showed it could be won. And that was enough for now. The stars waited. The swarm waited. Humans did not wait. The war no longer stayed at the edges. It came to every door. The void swarm pushed deeper. It ate colony after colony. It reached places the galaxy thought safe. Planets that once had green fields now had black towers reaching for the sky. The Concorde was broken. Only pockets of resistance remained, and humanity. Earth turned into one big factory. Day and night, machines roared. Old car plants made tanks for space. Schools closed so students could build drones. Grandmothers sewed uniforms. Children packed food boxes for soldiers. Everyone worked. Everyone hurt. More fleets left. The Iron Tide. That was the name they gave the biggest push yet. General Tae-woo Kang planned it from a deep bunker under Seoul. Maps covered every wall. Red lines showed swarm movements. Blue lines showed human ships. He pointed with a steady finger. We hit here. Hard. Fast. No retreat. Admiral Ji-ho Kim led the fleet. His flagship was bigger now. Called Last Stand. A name chosen by the crew. They painted it on the hull in white letters. Many ships had names like that. No mercy. One more day. For home. The first big battle of the Iron Tide happened at Sector Gamma 7. A ring of dead worlds. The swarm had a fortress there. A planet covered in living metal. It sent out waves of drones every hour. Human ships arrived in 3 groups. They came from different directions. Ji-ho's group went straight at the fortress. They fired everything. Lasers, missiles, railguns. The sky lit up like fireworks. Ha-eun Lee was on a medical frigate called Healer's Hand. She worked in the main bay. Wounded came in fast. Some missing arms, some burned black. She moved from bed to bed. Hold still. Breathe. Her voice stayed calm. Between patients, she mixed new medicine, a toxin made from swarm samples. It burned the drones from inside. She tested it on captured pieces. It worked. Soldiers injected them into big drones. The drones screamed, a high, wet sound, then fell apart. Ji Woo-han fought from high orbit. Her sniper ship drifted silent among rocks. She picked targets. Hive commanders, Nexus hearts. Every shot counted. One miss meant hundreds of human deaths. She did not miss. Her hands were steady, her eyes dry. Friends died on comms. She kept shooting. Minjun Park led ground teams now. They dropped onto captured swarm worlds, dark places, air thick with spores. They wore sealed suits, carried heavy packs. Minjun's team found a weak spot, a tunnel to the core. They went in. Inside was hell. Walls moved, drones crawled everywhere. Minjun's squad fought room by room. They used fire, explosives, knives when nothing else worked. One soldier fell. Minjun pulled him back. Not today. They planted bombs, ran out. The tunnel collapsed behind them. The core died. The planet shook. Whole divisions vanished in ambushes. The swarm learned too. It started targeting human morale. It sent fake messages, voices of dead friends begging to stop. It showed pictures of Earth burning, even when Earth was safe. Some soldiers broke. They cried. They froze. Others got angry. They fought harder. Colonel Hyun-woo Yoon commanded a heavy cruiser called Thunderchild. He was in the thick of it. His ship took hit after hit. Shields failed. Hull breached. He stayed on the bridge. Keep firing, he said. A swarm tentacle wrapped the ship. It pulled. Hyun-woo looked at his crew. Young faces, tired eyes. He gave the order. Overload the core. Ram the Nexus. They did. The ship flew straight into the biggest enemy vessel. Engines screamed. Reactors glowed red. At the last second, most crew ejected. Hyun-woo stayed. He sent one last message. For the ones who come after. The explosion was bright. It tore the Nexus apart. A whole sector went quiet. News reached Earth. People stopped working to watch. Tears fell. Then they went back to work, harder. The galaxy saw it all. Alien leaders who once ignored humans now sent private messages. Please, more troops. They offered technology, resources, anything. Lirael met Tae-woo on a neutral station. She looked older, her glow dim. Your people are dying for us. Taewoo looked at her. We die for our own too. The swarm does not stop at borders. She bowed low. We were wrong about you. Taewoo shook his head. Does not matter now. The iron tide pushed forward, sector by sector. Humans lost ships, lost friends, lost sleep. But they gained ground. The swarm slowed. It started to hesitate. The hive mind felt something new. Uncertainty. In quiet moments, soldiers talked. In mess halls, on damaged ships. They used the name with pride now. Top warrior, one said, passing water. Another laughed tired. Yeah, top bloody warrior. Jiho walked the halls of Last Stand. He visited wounded, talked to crews. He looked older, lines on his face, but his voice stayed strong. We are not done. Ha-hoon found a way to spread her toxin wider. Bombs that burst in space. Clouds of poison for drones. Ji-woo trained new snipers. Min-jun led bigger teams. They all kept going. The war was not over. The swarm still had strength. It gathered for one last push, toward human space, toward Earth. The galaxy watched. Hope hung by a thin thread. And that thread was human. Stubborn, bleeding, unbroken. The top warriors carried it forward. One step, one fight, one day more. The end came at origin. The heart of the Void Swarm. A planet made of flesh and steel. It spun slow in dead space. Towers taller than mountains. Rivers of black oil. Eyes everywhere. The hive mind lived there. If it died, the swarm died with it. Every ship that could fly went there. Concord remnants, broken Korgath hulls patched with human steel, Xylari scouts, Virelian light carriers, and at the front, the human fleets. Thousands of ships now, painted with names, scars, messages in Korean and English. We finish this. Admiral Jiho Kim stood on the bridge of Last Stand. His hair was more gray. His eyes tired but clear. He looked at the planet on the main screen. All packs, he said. This is it. No backup, no tomorrow. We go in, we end it. The plan was simple and mad. Human ships split into small groups, wolf packs. They moved fast and wild, hit from every side. Never stay long, never fight fair. The big Concord fleets gave cover. They drew fire, so humans could slip through. The battle started with light. Thousands of lasers crossed space. Missiles bloomed. Ships died in seconds. Human pilots yelled to each other, "Push, push." Some ships flew so close to the planet, they scraped the towers. They dropped bombs. Bombs made of winter hearts. Bombs made of swarm toxin. Bombs made from pieces of dead hive ships. Ji-woo Han flew her sniper ship low. She skimmed the surface. Black tendrils reached for her. She twisted away, found a weak spot. A glowing core half buried in flesh. She fired. The core cracked. A wave of drones around it stopped moving. She kept going, shot after shot. Keep them busy, she whispered to herself. Min Jun Park led the ground strike. His team dropped in heavy pods. They hit the surface hard, suits sealed, guns ready. They ran toward the biggest tower, the core tower. Inside was dark, wet, alive. Walls breathed. Drones came from every crack. They fought down levels, floor by floor. Min-jun threw winter hearts ahead. Cold clouds froze drones in place. His team shot them while they cracked. One soldier took a hit, black spikes through his chest. Min-jun carried him. Stay with me. They kept moving. Ha-eun Lee was on a support ship close to the planet. She led medical teams that jumped to damaged ships. She patched wounds in zero gravity. Blood floated like red stars. Between patients, she worked on the final weapon, a device stolen from Swarm Tech, reverse engineered by Min So Bake before she died in an earlier fight. It would overload the hive mind, make every drone stop forever. The device was small, heavy, dangerous. Someone had to carry it to the deepest chamber. Minjun's team reached the chamber, a huge room, the heart of origin, a giant pulsing brain, wires, veins, eyes staring. The hive mind spoke in their heads, no words, just pain, fear, hunger. Minjun planted the device. His hands shook a little. He set the timer. Out. Now. They ran back. Drones flooded the halls. Minjun fought last. A big drone hit him. Claws tore his side. He fell. Blood poured. Ha-Un's voice came on comms. Minjun, where are you? He coughed. Go. I got this. Ha-Un would not listen. She left her ship, dropped in a fast pod, landed near him. She ran through drones, shot two with her sidearm, reached Minjun. He was pale, breathing hard. Leave me, he said. No. She pulled him up, dragged him. A drone came behind. She turned, fired. It fell. Another came. She pushed Minjun ahead, took the hit herself. Pain burned her leg. She kept going. They reached the pod, climbed in. The timer hit 0. The core exploded. White light, then nothing. Outside the planet shook. Towers cracked. Drones froze in space. Ships, ground forces, everywhere. They stopped, fell, turned to dust. The swarm died. Silence came. Real silence. No more voices in heads. No more black waves. Survivors looked around. Ships drifted. Some burned. Some silent. Jiho's last stand floated near the broken planet. Half its hull gone, but still there. Jiho spoke on open channel. Every ship, every world. It's over. The swarm is gone. Cheers came slow, weak, then louder. Humans cried. Aliens cried. Everyone cried. Later, on what was left of Origin, survivors gathered. Jiho walked among them. Minjun lay on a stretcher, alive, barely. Ha-Un sat beside him, her leg bandaged. Jiwoo stood quiet, rifle on her shoulder. Lirael came, her silver skin scratched. She bowed deep. You saved everything. Jiho looked at her. We saved what we could. The galaxy rebuilt slow. Worlds cleaned, cities grew again, humans went home, many did not. Graves on 1,000 planets. Names carved in stone and steel. The name Top Warriors stayed. Not a joke, not sarcasm. A title, given with respect, sung in songs, taught to children. Years later, at a new Concord Hall on Earth, leaders met. Jiho stood at the front, older now, walking with a stick. He looked at the crowd. Humans, Virelians, Korgath, Xylari, all together. He spoke simple words. We never asked to be heroes. We never wanted the name. We just refused to die quiet. When the dark came, we fought. That is all. He paused. And if it comes again, we will fight again. The room was quiet. Then applause. Not loud, but real. Outside, stars shone bright. No black tide, no fear. Only hope. The galaxy remembered. When everything was lost, small, stubborn people answered. They bled. They broke. They stood. And the top warriors delivered.